up, get out right out of your bed, that's your quicksand. Getting rid anxiety and head, you can fix it. Rid of stigmas, all of them you said, we ain't listening. Just remember, try to do your best, you can win this. Maurice Benard, State of Mind.
Hello. My name is Maurice Benard. I play Sonny on General Hospital. So I met this guy last year, this actor at the Emmys. I thought he was cool, you know. Told him to come on State of Mind. He was a little apprehensive. It's taken a year to get him in here. I think he said he didn't have anything to talk about. So we're going to see that right now. But I think he told me a good story. And I'm just going to jump right in. His name is Mark Grossman, and he plays Adam Newman on the hit show Young and the Restless. What's happening?
Hello. Here we are a year later.
What's going on, dude?
Not much. How are you?
You have a kind of a look like a good guy, bad guy.
Oh.
Or just bad guy.
I like that, actually.
No, good guy, bad guy,
Good
yeah.
guy, bad, okay, yeah.
Because I kind of have similar trait, like, or maybe just bad guy, I don't know.
Just bad guy. Well, it's good for the character, you know, because Adam is definitely that way.
Yeah.
Good and bad, so.
Now, were you from Arizona?
Yep, grew up in Arizona where it's very hot. And, I was born on the East Coast and then basically grew up in Arizona.
Oh, you were born on the East Coast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Columbia, Maryland, and then we moved to Chicago. Was probably there for about 5 years and then moved to Arizona. And was there up until probably about 10 years ago.
What would be your favorite place? Like?
Oh, Arizona for sure. Yeah, Arizona's home. I love
Arizona's
it
great.
there. Some people, they hate the heat, but
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would much rather prefer the heat than the cold.
There's a place in Arizona. Well, I went to the Grand Canyon, and that's just like you stand there and you feel small as hell, man.
For sure. Yeah.
I've
actually hiked rim to rim at the Grand Canyon.
No.
Twice, yeah. With my dad. It was great. Long time ago, but yeah, that was like 25 miles or something like that, 20 to 25. But yeah, it was amazing.
You hiked 25 miles?
Yeah.
Now, were you like dead at the end, or?
Yeah, I mean, you're it's like an all day thing. I think we got up at probably 3 or 4 in the morning and then just started going. And then I think the first time I didn't get out till like 10 p.m. And then I think the second time I did it, I probably got out at like 5 p.m. So did it a little quicker.
Wow, man.
But yeah, it was fun.
How old were you?
I think the first time I did it was 2012, and then we probably went back 2 years later.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know, how old was I then? Probably late 20s. Yeah.
I walked like 3 miles.
Yeah?
And that's it, bro.
Turn around and go
and
back.
I'm at 2.5 going, when's the 3 coming? Because I have to walk 3. And that's 25.
Is that your goal?
Yeah,
3?
my goal is 3. But I also have to say I walk and I sprint. I walk and I sprint. That's kind of what I do.
Oh, you do the interval thing?
Yeah, for like 3 miles.
And how often do you do that?
Like twice a week, or I want to do 3 times a week. And then I do rowing machine. I just try to keep a little bit active, you know.
Yeah.
I used to box.
Oh, okay.
Now, I boxed for 25 years. And I'm fast, dude. I can. Anybody will tell you that has watched me box that I'm fast. Now, look, do I have a lot of power? I don't really know. Maybe a bit, but I will hit you.
I have a friend, and he's done martial arts for like 30 years, and he would put me through a boxing routine, and it is a phenomenal workout.
It's a great workout. Just sweating.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. So you've been doing it for 25 years?
Yeah, but when the pandemic hit, I quit, obviously, because I couldn't really go, and then I haven't been in the ring since. I hit the bag, though. When I'm at home, I haven't nice gym at home with bags, and I hit the bags.
And do you use the big mitts for the bag?
I used to just the boxing gloves.
Okay.
Even for the, I know they have those smaller things, but I use boxing gloves, and I love hitting the bag. But I've been really itching to get in the ring because it's like it's that feeling in there and how tired you get. I used to sweat. See, I miss sweating like that. Now I can't, but I used to like pour out of me the sweat.
It's a great workout.
The only problem that I had is after I'd box, my hands would shake. I mean, my hands, they kind of shake now because I'm going through some other stuff, but they used to shake a lot, And then when I'd act, if I'd get into an intense scene, my hands would shake more.
Really?
Because I believe it's the pressure of somebody coming at you that you could get hit. That sometimes you jump in with somebody new, and it's that pressure. So
Your body would just react like
yeah. Now, obviously, when I'm boxing, it's not shaking, but when I take my gloves off,
you go to work and you're like, pick up the mug on this line. I can't.
oh shit! Well, that's happening now, brother.
Is it?
Now that's happening now. Now this is a whole separate issue because of something that happened a little while back, traumatic. Okay. That my balance is off. Now I'm giving away the whole freaking secret. I'm an open book. It doesn't matter. My balance is fucked up. Okay. And last time I worked, I went to get the phone and I'm like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, I'm saying, oh, fuck, I was going to say, my fucking hand's shaking. But no, I think it's part of what maybe the medication I'm taking, maybe, or just from the traumatic experience that happened a while ago that affected my nerves. But I went to a neurologist, and I'm cool for like Parkinson's, and
Oh, that's good.
none of that's happening. So there we are.
I have tics, and I remember I would go to a neurologist. I've probably been 3 times over the years. But yeah, I was curious if they had anything that would stop tics, but I just never loved, like, it didn't really affect my quality of life. So I just didn't love being on medication if I didn't absolutely need
You
to
don't
get
have it now,
medication.
right?
I mean, it like I'll blink my eyes and I have, like tension in my body, but it probably started in high school.
Damn.
When I started messing myself up from riding my dirt bike. But yeah, it is funny when I'm doing scenes and I'm in like an intense storyline, like it will kind of like it'll like get my neck.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
What do you feel? Clicking? Does it click?
It's like a tension thing. It's like a itch I kind of have to scratch, but I never really wanted to take medication for it because it doesn't really affect me that much.
No.
And it's pretty subtle, but it's something that I'd probably say high school when I started breaking all my bones.
So you knew all this from way back in high school?
Yeah, I'd gone to a
Damn.
neurologist probably 3 times over the years, and I remember the first guy was like, "You could take Xanax, you could take Klonopin."
No.
And I remember trying that for like a week, and I just felt like a zombie.
Can't do it, no.
And I didn't want to be on it, so.
That's an interesting. Then look at us having this conversation in the beginning of our thing. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because it could be I'm probably going to get off the medication just to see if that fixes it, and if it does. But see, it's not that terrible, dude, because my mind is strong.
And it's not happening now.
No. My acting is fucking good right now. I'm like, like focus and great. But when I finish a scene and I have to walk, I feel or let's put it this way. That's what I told my wife. This is an amazing conversation. Because I don't think I've had this conversation ever.
Oh, that's right.
This is trippy. I said, baby, My mind is strong. Feel, boom, acting's great. The only drawback is I can't curfew. I can't. It doesn't.
It doesn't go.
It's all messed up. I'm like,
It's very dramatic.
yeah, it's not good, right? And I said, and I couldn't really hold a phone in a scene. And when I walked down the stairs after doing scenes, I'm wobbling, man. It's like,
And you think it's from the medication?
look, it's never really happened, right? So it has to be because of something that happened to me about 9 months ago. That really was really tough, or the medication. It's got to be one or the other. Now I'll tell you another thing, but you don't seem to have it. If you have psoriasis, like I have everything marked that you see in a commercial. If you have bipolar 1, if you have depression, if you have psoriasis,
Take this.
I have it all, bro. It's almost to the point where I hear the commercial and I laugh. I'm start to laugh because there's always this bipolar one that comes out, and she's in a bed. This woman, you're bipolar. But I had plus I have high cholesterol, so my psychiatrist said take krill. Okay, it's a krill oil, like a fish oil, like shrimp oil, and that will help you. So I took this thing. My psoriasis is gone.
Really?
I looked it up. It does help that skin, all the wrinkles and everything. And I don't have psoriasis, man. I had it here, bro, like there.
It was on your face?
Yes.
Wow.
And my makeup artist is like, just fucking makeup, and gone.
And that krill oil just knocked it all out.
One pill a day.
Wow.
Not that but if anybody you know that needs
Well, good to know.
it is good to know. Yeah.
And I'm glad that cleared up. That's
Yeah, that was getting a
Can't be
little.
fun.
It's a little. It can get a little embarrassing,
mm.
What am I gonna talk to? Well, first of all, I looked you up, and here's what a bit of what it said.
Okay.
Mark Grossman is a very handsome man with a slim body.
At times. Depends on the month.
And I'm like, what the That's the best. All right, so in Arizona, there's a place. There's a place. It's like when I would drive by, it's amazing. It's all red.
Oh, Sedona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Sedona's great.
What is that
Yeah.
about? I love that.
Well, it's gotten so busy. So many people go there now. But yeah, it's just the rock formations up there are red, and it's beautiful. And it's kind of they have the vortexes, and it's a spiritual place, and it's just a great place to go if you kind of want to unwind and
Do they have like an area you can go that's like big and you can sit and hang
Yeah,
out?
they have a lot of areas there. They have beautiful places, and even if it's just like a day trip, go have lunch. Like it's a great place. You've never been.
I never stopped.
Oh, you got to go. It's really
There.
a great place.
But yeah, like if I went on vacation, then I could stay somewhere, and then there's a park or something you can go to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love-
I mean, there's tons. There's great hiking trails. There's turnoffs. There's, everything you could want up there.
Because when I went to the Grand Canyon, we drove through. I think we drove through there, and it was just amazing. Yeah. The look of it,
Yeah.
So then what happened so you went to high school, obviously. You graduated. Did you know what you were going to be when you grow up?
No, at that time, I actually wanted to be a professional motocross racer. That was like my first passion, but wasn't good enough. But man,
Why weren't you good enough?
I just wasn't good enough. A lot of the kids that end up being professional racers, start young, and their families throw everything they have at them. And,
Yeah.
I probably started when I was like 12. But I loved it. Yeah, I was obsessed.
But
with
see, some people tell them they're not good enough. It's cool that you knew that you weren't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I really wanted to be pro and do that, like it just wasn't in the cards, you know.
Right.
I was coming out of high school and I think doing some college, and then I actually started selling insurance. I got my insurance license.
You did?
Yeah, yeah.
How was that?
I mean, sales is fun, you know, talking to people. Like I've always enjoyed talking to people.
Money to be made?
Yeah, I mean, you know, sky's the limit with sales, but it wasn't something that I was passionate about. And then I think over the years, like people had approached me to do some modeling, and I kind of brushed it off.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, I didn't know anybody that did that, and certainly not acting. But I mean, I always loved movies. I always loved watching TV. Like, remember when Blockbuster was around?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had
yeah.
the 5 movies for $5, and you could like interchange.
Yeah.
So I would go and I would watch tons of movies, but I didn't know anybody that was an actor. It wasn't like something you did, you know. And then I think I had.
Did you model at all?
Yeah. So what happened was I was kind of getting burned out with the insurance stuff, and one of my best friends, ironically, wanted to be a fashion photographer, and I was kind of warming up to the idea of trying to do some modeling or seeing if the agencies there would sign me. So I said, why don't we take some shots since you want to be a photographer? I'm, you know, kind of interested in this. So we shot some stuff and submitted it to the agencies there, and then they all were willing to take me on. So I was like, oh, wow. And then I realized they do acting too. So I was like, oh, you could actually do this?
Is this LA?
This is the thing? No, this was in Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona
Yeah.
they have agents and stuff.
Yeah, I think they probably have about three main ones there. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you got into modeling.
So then I started modeling and then did that. And then there was the acting guy. And I said, hey, man, can you start sending me out on some auditions? And he said, okay, well, I want you to do a monologue. I don't even know what that was. And so I picked, there's this movie, Boiler Room with, have you seen it?
Somebody just said Boiler Room to me.
It's like about stocks, and I think who's in it? Ben Affleck's in it, and Vin Diesel, and they're doing some scheme. And there's a scene in there where like Ben Affleck goes into the boardroom, and he's like yelling at these guys, these new recruits. And I don't know why I picked that scene, but I remember I went into the agency office like fully dressed the part. I had like a suit on, and you know, all he wanted me to do was just like read the scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, it was so bad. But I remember that. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'll send you out on some auditions. So then I started going on some auditions in Arizona and then started booking some stuff. So I was like, you know, all in.
Like commercials or?
Yeah, some commercials and short films. You know, I think at that time, like there was a tax incentive in Arizona that had expired. So they weren't shooting like a bunch of stuff in Arizona, but it was mostly commercials and short films. But, you know, booking anything, I was like, oh, wow. You know, someone wants me to show up and be in front of the camera. I was like, great. So then I just was, you know, took all that energy and put it into that.
Did you go from Arizona? Then you moved to LA? Is that how you?
Yeah. So I was in Arizona doing it for like a year, and then I'm like, no, let's go to Los Angeles. Like, you know, we're gonna do something. We're gonna like, you know, try to go all the way. So I was like, I gotta move to LA. Let's move to LA. So then classic story of couple bucks in my pocket and, you know, but not knowing LA at all. I moved in with a guy, I think the one guy that I knew from Arizona that lived in LA. And yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
And you lived with this guy and just started. Now, did you get an agent out here?
No. So I had a modeling agent. I think I was with Next at the time, but I didn't have an agent. I didn't have a manager. So I was just self-submitting on Actors Access, and then ended up booking some projects on there. And then the way I got my manager was, I think I ended up doing a horror movie that ended up going to Netflix, and I think he had a client that was in it, and he looked me up, and then he just dry emailed me. And he was like, hey, I see you don't have representation. Like, let's have a meeting. And I've had that manager for a decade now. I love
Wow.
that guy.
That's
Yeah.
amazing that you're with the same,
hmm
because usually managers could piss you off or take your money or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a great
And
guy.
you go to another person, another person. So how'd you get Y&R?
Ooh. So, ended up getting a manager and then got with an agent and was going out on auditions, like you do. And I think I had auditioned for Y&R at least one other time and General Hospital a couple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Actually, Mark Teschner was the first guy, my first month in LA, gave me a shot and took me to producers my first month.
Damn.
And he has a special place in my heart. But so I think I read for them a couple times, read for Y&R, and then it was just another audition that came around, but I had no clue what the role was. I didn't, know a whole lot about the show. And yeah. It's pretty wild.
And then you end up playing Eric Braden's
I know.
son. Is that their product? Yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea. So I what happened? The initial audition, and then went back to like the network thing. And Sharon was there, Joshua was there, got to meet them, and I think then I realized like how big this role was, and then they had me come back a couple days later and screen test on the set. And I didn't know my ass from my elbow because I had never been on a soap set with, all the little sets. And I think they slid in the screen test like in between a scene in the shooting day. And I was just like so overwhelmed.
Who would you do the screen test with?
I did it with Sharon, with Joshua, and Gina at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Like back to back to back.
And you obviously got it.
And then they called. And then that was wild.
How long you been on the show?
6 years, which is crazy. Blink of an eye.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
It's by very fast.
when did you get Nightmare Cinema?
I was gonna bring this up. 'Cause that's where we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like 2017, wasn't it?
Don't remember, man.
So we're probably around then. But yeah, probably like 2016, 2017. But we didn't work together, did we?
No, because we were in separate movies.
Yeah. Wait,
Or maybe you might have been in my movie.
no, I don't think so.
No.
Who was the director on the one?
The Japanese director.
I think mine was Joe Dante.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now that movie that's called Nightmare Cinema, the critics loved it.
Did they?
Yeah, they were all in it.
Oh, cool.
But it was kind of a trippy, scary movie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my scene was with Mickey Rourke. So the day I go on the set to rehearse, I'm just waiting, and the director comes up and says, Mickey doesn't want to rehearse with you. Said, oh, okay. Yeah, he's kind of doing something or whatever. I said, all right. So I go back to my trailer and they call me in to do the scene. And Mickey comes in with this cane and this no shirt on. He's all buffed and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And this leather jacket. He comes in, he goes, who am I doing the scene with? And they're like, Maurice. And he goes, that kid right there? And I said, and I didn't say anything. And they're like, no, that's Maurice. He's playing the priest. He goes, oh, all right. So we do the scene. We start the scene. And because I'm nervous now, right? I mean, I really looked up to Mickey Rourke when I was young.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, all I'm going to do when I look in his eyes is let him know what kind of actor I am. The truth. That's it. just going to look at him. So we did the rehearsal. I looked at him. And at the end of the rehearsal, he grabs my face really hard, bro. Okay? He didn't say anything. I'm like, so then we do the take. Go down, look at him. Dude, he grabs my face again. Done. After the take, he goes, "Hi, I'm Mickey Rourke. How are you?" I said, "I'm Maurice Benard. Good, good." He goes, "I didn't grab you too hard, did I?" I said, "Nah, not really." And then we started talking about boxing. So, what it showed me was this guy, he's gonna be kind of method. I'm a method actor, but yeah, I mean, I'm from the actor studio, member of the actor studio. So I guess I was cool with it because he was nice. If he wasn't nice after, that would have been kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he was actually cool after, and we knew some people in boxing, and that was it.
Oh, good.
So, but that movie was trippy, man.
I remember you're the priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In
had
that old school theater in Rialto. I
Right.
think, yeah.
Sex with the who was it? The nun. Had sex with the nun. Yeah.
Is that what you were doing in that movie?
But it is what it was. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was pretty good actually, but I'm not into those kind of movies.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been that long. 2017, I think.
Let's talk about any mental health that I know you don't have. You don't have any mental illness.
No, I had a younger brother who passed that did. He was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, he passed in 2007, January 1st, 2007. And he wasn't officially diagnosed probably 3 months before he passed. So, the whole progression of him getting worse, probably was 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
But, we didn't know that at the time, when things start to.
What did you think it was at the time? Just him acting up, or?
Well, I mean, I was 19 years old at the time. He was 17. So I don't know what I thought about it then.
Wow.
Like I probably thought, oh, my brother's going through a phase, because we were both going to public school, and there came a time when he didn't want to go to public school anymore, and he wanted to be homeschooled, and he started to withdraw, and things just got worse and worse. He stopped hanging out with his friends, and then it got real bad. He put on weight. He would wear all black. He would, not want to go in public. He would shower in the dark. He was extremely, it took a while to get that bad, but there was times where he was walking around the house with a bat. Like he was extremely paranoid. And I don't like my parents. I don't know at the time. I don't think they knew what to do, until it got so bad where they took him to a doctor and he was diagnosed. But there was a pretty long period of time where, they just did what parents did, where they loved their kid. And
yeah, because at that time, it's like with my own bipolar, they didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I was 2.5 weeks in a mental institution. They can't tell me what I have.
Really?
If it happened now, right away.
Right away they would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bipolar. Then nobody could tell me. Until I escaped from the hospital. It's a long story, but I went to see some guy about a month later, who's my friend now, psychiatrist, great psychiatrist. And half hour in, he looks up and he goes, "You're manic depressive." I said, "What's that?" It's chemical imbalance, whatever it is, and you're going to take lithium, You're going to be okay. But he said to me when I walked in there, like I was in bad shape, drugs and stuff. But they didn't know, just like your brother.
And so, how long did it take them again before
Well,
they diagnosed it officially?
Well, let's say if I got, let's say a couple of weeks, and then I got into I'd say I didn't know till about 2 or 3 months. Wow. I know yours is a long time. That's wild. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
So, but how can I be in a mental institution for 2.5 weeks and them not telling me what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Is he an alcoholic? No, he doesn't drink. Is he a drug addict? No. And I kept asking.
And they had no answers at the time.
We don't know yet. They never knew in that hospital.
Man.
So I can relate to your parents, you not knowing until you get the diagnosis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said you got the diagnosis 3 months later, he passes away. Damn.
Yeah.
But there's not, but also, who's to say that if he'd known years earlier, he still could have passed away?
Yeah. I mean, there's no way of knowing. I do remember that he did not like that medication. You know, he didn't like the way it made him feel, but, you know, who knows if he had started it earlier, you know?
Yeah, that's another, this is great. You know, it's funny, you're the second guy that's come in here that I didn't think I was going to talk much mental health with, and here we are talking real cool about mental health. With medication, I'm 100% with your brother. And this can get kind of, but I don't care. If you're taking if I'm taking medication that makes me feel this stuff is all right. This stuff is not. But if I take medication, and I've taken many that make me go like this, I ain't taking it. I ain't taking it.
Yeah, I mean that's hard, right? Like if you have a condition, but if it changes your personality and your mood so much, and it affects your quality of life, that's a hard decision to make, right?
That's right.
Like where the trade-off.
That's right.
And like going back to the Klonopin Xanax stuff, I mean that's how I felt about this stuff when I was younger. Is like, you know, this doesn't affect my quality of life enough where I want to take medication for it.
Yeah.
But someone, you know, that's a paranoid schizophrenic, I don't know. I mean, that's a very serious,
severe,
and you know, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's harder than mine. That's harder than bipolar.
Yeah.
That's like at the top of the chain, and mine's like second. I don't know, maybe second or third. That's a tough one, but man, this is a good conversation.
I remember seeing how much pain he was in.
Yeah.
And it was. And again, at 19 years old, I don't know that I comprehended what he was going through. You know, I probably thought in that moment, hey, you know, he's going to grow out of this. Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't understand. But looking back, I mean, he was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
And, you know, what these people don't understand is, and I hate to bring this up again, but because Mark's being so open, the pain, people who don't have mental illness, yes, there's pain. You lose a brother, you lose your father, you get that pain. But the amount of pain that I go through when I go through these bouts is fucking hard. Like fucking hard. So you may, like I say, anybody who isn't mentally ill should kiss the ground they walk on. kiss the ground because they're so lucky to not have to ever feel. Now, I'm not going to say I know what your brother felt, but it's that kind of pain that's triple what usually pain is, to where you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
And it's one of those things where, like, I will never know what that experience is like, right? You
Right.
could explain to
Exactly.
me what you're
Exactly.
feeling, and I will never know what that's
Exactly.
like. And, you know, I will never know what that's like.
No. And thank God you don't. Because it's too much, man. I'm telling you. But also, I will say this because I don't want to leave this on this kind of note. It's just like my wife said to me all the time, and I'm saying it again. We are stronger than we know. When I would be saying to her, I can't, honey. I can't go another day. I just can't. Honey, you are stronger than you know. I'll keep saying that line because it's the line that gets us to keep going. And then what happens when we keep going? We're stronger than we've been, and we're better because of what we went through. Because there's only, look, man, to go through what many have to go through and keep going, you have to be different because of it. But it's up to what you decide to do here, whether it's going to be good, whether it's going to be bad. So, fuck. See what I'm saying? Mark comes in here, and it's like, I'm thinking it's going to be a conversation like, you know, cool, and he's a good guy, he's cool, you know. And we have one of the deepest conversations I've had in a long time. And because of that, I'm gonna end it here, okay? Just because we've done, you were fantastic. I appreciate it.
Oh, well,
And I want to say about Mark, it's one of those interviews where you just start one way and you end with this bang. And only because Mark, decided to talk about stuff is what made this what it is. Unless you got anything else you want to add?
hey, man, it's been good
great.
chatting with you.
Yeah.
And here we are a year later.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you.
And for whatever reason, I know it's taken a year, but I'm glad you did come in because I sensed something when we talked. And I thought that we could get something interesting in here, you know?
Yeah.
But you never know with these. Sometimes people come in, they don't talk or whatever. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. State of mind. See you later, alligator.